This is Land of Havilah, Hosea 13, verse 1. When Ephraim spoke, there was trembling. He exalted himself in Israel, but when he became guilty in Baal, he died. Now they sin more and have made themselves molten images of their silver, even idols according to their own understanding, all of them the work of the craftsman. They say of them, they offer human sacrifice and kiss the calves. Therefore they'll be like the morning mist and like the dew that passes away early, like the chaff that's driven with the whirlwind out of the threshing floor, and like the smoke out of the chimney. Comment in verse 1, when Ephraim spoke, there was trembling. This refers to Ephraim being one of the most respected tribes in the early days of Israel. Joshua came from Ephraim, 1 Chronicles 7. It was said of Ephraim, "You're a numerous people and have great power," Joshua 17:17. For a long time, Shiloh of Ephraim was home to the tabernacle, Joshua 16:6 and 1 Samuel 1:3. So Ephraim was one of the foremost tribes and most respected tribes, but now in verse 1, Ephraim's guilty of worshiping Baal and has died. In verse 2, Ephraim sins more and more. Their craftsmen melt down silver and make idols in the images of foreign gods. This is according to their faulty thinking and not according to an accurate understanding or according to what makes actual sense. They perform human sacrifice and kiss the calf idols. In verse 3, the dew and morning mist don't last long. They evaporate, and soon Ephraim will be gone. As the whirlwind on the threshing floor carries away the chaff, Ephraim will be blown away. As the smoke from the chimney rises and disappears, Ephraim will disappear. Verse 4. Yet I am Yahweh your God from the land of Egypt, and you shall acknowledge no God but me, and besides me there is no Savior. I knew you in the wilderness, in the land of great drought. According to their pasture, so they were filled. They were filled, and their heart was exalted. Therefore they have forgotten me. Comment in verses 4 to 6, long ago Yahweh revealed himself to Israel. He brought them out of Egypt. He commanded them to acknowledge no God but him, not even to take the name of any other God on their lips, Exodus 23:13. Besides Yahweh there is no Savior. He knew Israel in the wilderness. In that land of great drought he fed them abundantly, with manna, with miraculous provision, and by his word. By that abundance they were filled, their heart was exalted, they were jubilant, and because of the prosperity God has given them, they've now forgotten him. Since they've forgotten him, verse 7, therefore I am like a lion to them, like a leopard I'll lurk by the path. I'll meet them like a bear that's bereaved of her cubs and will tear the covering of their heart. There I will devour them like a lioness. The wild animal will tear them. You're destroyed, Israel, because you're against me, against your help. Comment in verses 7 to 9, because Yahweh brought Israel out of Egypt through the desert, pastured them so abundantly, but now they've forgotten him. He'll devour them like a lion, leopard, or bear. He'll tear the covering of their heart. Israel's destroyed because they've set themselves against Yahweh. What sense does it make to set themselves in opposition to their only source of help? Verse 10. Where is your king now, that he may save you in all your cities, and your judges, of whom you said, give me a king and princes? I've given you a king in my anger, and have taken him away in my wrath. Comment in verse 10, Yahweh reminds Israel that early in their history he was their king, but they rejected him as king and demanded a human king, 1 Samuel 8:7. So Yahweh says, where's your king now, that he may save you from what's coming? And where are your judges that you wanted to make king? Gideon, for example, Judges 8:22, and Abimelech, Judges 9:6. I finally gave you a king, but I was angry that you thought you needed one. Now I'll take your king away in my wrath. Verse 12. The guilt of Ephraim is stored up. His sin is stored up. The sorrows of a travailing woman will come on him. He's an unwise son, for when it's time he doesn't come to the opening of the womb. I will ransom them from the power of Sheol. I'll redeem them from death. Death, where are your plagues? Sheol, where is your destruction? Compassion will be hidden from my eyes. Though he's fruitful among his brothers, an east wind will come, the breath of Yahweh coming up from the wilderness, and his spring will become dry, and his fountain will be dried up. He'll plunder the storehouse of treasure. Samaria will bear her guilt, for she has rebelled against her God. They'll fall by the sword. Their infants will be dashed in pieces, and their pregnant women will be ripped open. Comment in verse 12, the guilt and sin of Ephraim is stored up. Yahweh's been keeping account. In verse 13, the sorrows of a travailing woman will come upon Ephraim, a time of great difficulty. The labor of childbirth seems unbearable, and Ephraim's difficulties will seem unbearable. Ephraim doesn't have the wisdom to deliver himself from this situation. The metaphor switches a little, that Ephraim is like a baby that won't come, who refuses to come to the opening of the womb. So in verse 13, Ephraim is both the mother who will be in travail and the baby who refuses to be delivered. In verse 14, the literal standard version gives it as a series of 4 questions. It's not a declaration of, I'll redeem them from the power of Sheol. It's a question, will I redeem them from the power of Sheol? The answer in Ephraim's case is no, Yahweh will not redeem them. The answer to believers is yes, he will redeem them. Then the second question is, will I redeem them from death? The answer to Ephraim is no, and to the believer is yes. Then the question, death, where are your plagues? The answer to Ephraim is, your plagues are upon you. The answer to a believer is that there will be no plagues. Then Sheol, where is your destruction? The answer to Ephraim is that their destruction is upon them, and the answer to the believer is that there will be no destruction. Then the final sentence of verse 14 is a statement, quote, compassion will be hidden from my eyes. Yahweh sees no compassion in Ephraim's immediate future. In verses 15 and 16, Ephraim is fruitful among his brothers, fruitful in the sense that by all outward appearances everything seems fine, but a scorching east wind will come off the desert, the breath of Yahweh out of the desert wilderness. It'll dry up Ephraim's springs and fountains. Yahweh will plunder them. Samaria will bear her guilt. They'll fall by the sword. In the atrocities of war, their infants will be dashed in pieces and pregnant women ripped open. Hosea 14 is next.